Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do a series on nutrition. This is being the first video. In this video we're gonna cover carbs. Nutrition is probably, I would say, a little more important than your training. Sure, training is important, but think about it. How do you get big? How do you get overweight? How do you get fat? How do you get lean? Well, one, obviously through exercise, but two, even more important than exercise, would be your eating habits. So with carbohydrates, why do they have such a bad rep? Why do they have such a bad rep? Well, I'll explain to you why. Because they're associated with simple sugars like cupcakes, cakes, pastries, candies, any sugary drink. So therefore they're categorized as a negative thing. That's why you see people on low carb diets, or they limit their carbs, not knowing that they're actually a very valuable tool that you can use. Can they be a negative impact to your body? Yes, they can, but that depends on you and how you use them. All right, so actually, I'm gonna show you guys the Up House. It's right here in my neighborhood, like the actual Up House. So I'll show you guys here in a sec. Here's the Up House. Kind of cool, huh? Bad A, right? It's a pretty nice house too. Anyways, going back to our topic, simple carbs versus complex carbs. So what are they? Complex carbs being such as brown rice, whole wheat pasta, 100% whole wheat bread, potatoes, any kind of potatoes, yams, even white potatoes, the regular brown ones. Simple carbs being like white bread and pastries, cake, cupcakes, things like that. Those have simple carbs. So in order to use them to our advantage, we need to understand how they work. Now, for example, let's say you eat 1 cup of brown rice and you eat 1 cup of white rice. If you've never done this, go ahead and try it. Eat one to see how long it takes you to be hungry again, and then eat the other and see how long it takes you to be hungry. So with complex carbs, your body's gonna take a lot longer to digest them, to process them. Therefore, you're gonna have a sustained energy level. As with simple carbs, such as white rice, your body's going to digest that really, really fast, and then you're gonna be hungry again. That's why when you eat pastries, your body, one, it either doesn't get full, or two, depending on how your body is, you won't stay full for long. Therefore, you'll be hungry quicker and then consume more carbohydrates, which then puts you over your limit, so to speak. And we'll talk about that here in a second. Now, going back to the energy level that I was talking about, I'm sure every single one of us has been to a buffet or has had a big meal. So what happens is we consume so many carbohydrates. Now let's say this is our energy level right here, right? Simple carbs digest so fast because it's mostly broken down already. So it's in a form that our body's almost instantly gonna absorb. Therefore, your insulin's gonna spike and then drop. And down here is when most people say, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I need to take a nap, right? We've all felt that, we've all heard it. Now let's talk about carbs, how you can use them to your advantage. Now a carb is a carb. Simple carbs or complex carbs. Good carbs versus bad carbs, right? Same thing. So if they're the same thing, why does it matter to eat one over the other? Well, it's not necessarily the carb, it's what comes along with the carbs, the vitamins, the nutrition, if there's fat. So simple carbs are gonna be basically stripped from all the nutrition, okay? It's gonna be the carb itself, therefore you're only left with the carbs. But carb for carb, it's the same. Think about it like this. Imagine this is your tank of carbohydrates for the day. Let's say you eat about 3/4 of the way by noon of carbs. By dinner time, you're gonna be overflowing this tank of carbs. Then your body stores it as fat. That's why carbs have such a bad rep, is because people don't know how to use them as a tool and then gain weight from them. I'll use myself as an example. I eat 274 grams a day. Not every other day, a day. So some of you may think that's a lot, but that's actually not a lot. I'm actually cutting right now, meaning I am in a caloric deficit. I'm trying to lose weight, so cut down in fat. Therefore, my carbs are pretty low. 274 is low for me. Obviously that number is going to be different for everyone, but if I'm maintaining or trying to bulk up, which means put on more size, my carbohydrates would jump. Now if you're not tracking your carbs, that's probably your number one problem right there, is because you don't know how much, one, you don't know how much you're intaking, two, you don't know how much you should be intaking. How do you figure that out? Well, we'll figure that out in another video where I go over macros themselves. So carbs are not the enemy, okay? They're good for you. They give you energy throughout your whole day. What happens in a lot of cases is people will consume a lot of carbs throughout the day. And let's say it's Friday night. You'll consume a lot of carbs throughout the day, and then Friday night you'll go out with your family or your buds, friends, whatever. You'll go out, have some drinks, or you'll go out for dinner and you'll have a big meal. And you'll definitely go over your carbs. Why? Because earlier in the day you didn't watch your carbs. So in those situations, if you know you're gonna go out, let's say Friday night, Saturday night, or whatever, try to cut low on your carbs during the day, so therefore your reservoir of carbs is emptier when you go to dinner. Okay, simple as that. Because a lot of times when you go out to eat, you don't necessarily know what's in the food. You don't know the calories, and even if you do, let's say you go to, I don't know, a fast food place, and you pull up their nutrition menu, and it tells you, oh, it has this much protein, this much carbs, this much fats. Is it going to be 100% accurate? Well, no. It's going to be a rough estimate, yeah. But is it going to be accurate? No, it's not going to be accurate. So, for safe measure, lower your carbs during the day, because you know you're going to go out later that night, okay? Rule of thumb. Now, a big mistake that people make with carbs is staying away from them because they see diets, they see low carb diets such as the Atkins diet, which is very popular. Now, I'm not saying that diet is wrong, but coming from a bodybuilder's perspective, a low carb diet is not ideal, because one, you're gonna have low energy throughout the whole day. Two, you're not gonna have energy to get through your workouts unless you ate a lot of fat, which is more like a keto diet, which is high in protein, high in fat, low in carb, but I'm not a big fan of, okay? So your body's gonna get the energy from somewhere. So let's say you go to the gym, and whether you're lifting weights, you're doing cardio, you're doing CrossFit, whatever, your body's gonna need energy, right? So where is that energy gonna come from? If your body already has a limited supply of it, it's gonna start breaking down muscle. That's why if you see runners, not sprinters, runners, people that run for long periods of time, one, yes, they're very skinny because they've burned all their fat, and two, they're not muscular because they've also burned their muscle away. So they've burned their fat and they've burned their muscle. And if that's your goal, that's fine by me. But if you're trying to build muscle and be lean, that's not ideal. So by you going to the gym and lifting weights, it's kind of counterproductive to not have enough carbs in your system to even push you through your workout, because at that point your body's going to start breaking down muscle and use muscle as your energy source, which is going backwards of what you're trying to do. So hopefully this video was informative, guys. Like I said, we'll be going over nutrition here in the next few videos, so a lot of information coming to you guys. Thank you guys so much for your support already, and as always, stay fitted, stick with it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.